Right. Welcome to my Sprint 3 and 4 individual progress showcase. I'll be showing off this to start off with just because I want to do this all at once this time around. Starting off, we have my breakdown of labor. I spent a total of 1,921 minutes in this last two sprints with a lot of stuff that I did, including scheduling next maintenance screen, next maintenance progress bar, customer bypass, setting up backend for the chatbot, theme updates, backend logic for customer and mechanic as well. So let's go over this real quick for my new feature live demo. All right, so now on the create account screen, I will show off creating an account and setting up the mechanic account. As you can see, upon clicking sign up, I get all this stuff where I can click the is this a mechanic account and check that box, enter in some random name, random job title, random phone number, and click sign up. And as you can see with that, my new account was made with the is mechanic true, where I can also go into here and uncheck that, where I am able to save profile there, and now it is also false. So as you can see, that is there for that. If I go and log out again, you'll be able to see that I have the customer account right here, where I can see all of these items and go over here, and as you can see, it's here as well, already unchecked because this is a customer account. If I go over to my set next maintenance now, and I set it for customer bypass, click find user, and then I set it for 2008 Honda Civic. Might want to go into my settings before this as well and set a new date time to ensure that I am not on my current time and can properly check how long until the next appointment. So let's say it's April 1st right here. I go over to this and I set the date for April 30th. I can click confirm for the car that I chose and go over to my cars and forgot which one I actually did it for, but if I go and check that, now it is a new day. Reset the screen, as you can see, that has a progress bar that is set to end on the 30th of April. Along with this, set up backend for chatbot as well, where I can go over to here. All of this is where I was talking to it. I can go over to chat sessions, look for an active chat with this being the chat and everything we're looking at already and everything there. You can see I can go and click. Well, I can show that it is all here from this chat for starters. And if I click this, as you can see, that completes, gives us a summary right here, and gives us a summary inside of the chat where we can see it. It is fully linked up to the user's account, so you can see what user was talking to it as well. And just properly talk to an AI and switch between screens without having it reset. If we go back over to my PowerPoint, you can see that I also changed up the UI. So most recently, the AI main screen was changed, where I reorganized some stuff, changed some color schemes, and just basically went through and adjusted everything to look proper and just look good on any sort of theme, including this one, where I am not having hard to read stuff despite it being light mode. That was a bit hard because I had to go through all the screens, but it was more time consuming than it was actually physically difficult. And that is the current app showcase for this current sprint. All right, moving on, I will be showing off the GitHub for this last sprint and showing you what I went through. Alright, showing off the GitHub, I will start off with this theming that I was working on at the start. So what I had done to start off is I was realizing that there was just a lot of cluster in main. So I wanted to go through and create a theme config file where I can basically store all of the themes there instead of going and storing it all in main, as you can see here. It allowed me to store it all in one thing and be able to use that over and over again for dark and light theme instead of having the complete thing for each of them. Just allowing me to cut down on some clutter for that. Next up, I was working on some AI changes where I was trying to store the AI's chat in the Firebase instead of just on the local machine. So what I did is I created a Firebase instance and tried to store the user ID. I do not believe in this one it worked, but in the next one I show you it should be working for the user ID. However, in this one I did manage to get it store the store the text, and it was storing under the user ID. However, it wasn't storing under the username there. This was not working right here. So what I ended up having to do for that, I'll show you a bit later. However, it did store to Firebase at this time and allowed me to be able to just read what I had in Firebase, and eventually I would be able to store my prompts in Firebase. Likewise with this one, I did some more changes to the theme where I had started to mess with car cards and try and make that work a bit better and look nicer as far as the image of the car went. As I promised with this one, I had managed to store the username here by going into the Firestore instead of just the auth service and taking it from users, or from the names field right here. As you can see, access the names field, and I pulled the username from there, allowing me to set it here into the chat participant and basically allow me to store the username inside of it, as you can see right here. Name customer bypass. Inside of the sessions, you can see that I was able to store the name with AI Mechanic there. With a very small change on this one, I was able to go and just add another button to the login screen where I added a need to test mechanic and need to test customer, and just change mechanic to customer so that I can basically log into a customer account instead of just the mechanic account. After a lot of changes to our app just to prepare for the showcase, we ended up changing the theme a lot in those, but it's a bit too minuscule to show off inside of this. So I will move on to adding the mechanic checkbox, which allowed this true and false statement inside of the Firebase to be checked false or true, ensuring that we had mechanic or customer accounts. So as you can see, we first started by creating a mechanic boolean up here. We then added some checkboxes to it where we had it send some information to Firebase, creating this field right here, and basically allowing us to just create that from customer profile. Later, we ended up adding it into the edit profile where we allowed you to check on and off that button, ensuring that we were able to have a way for mechanics to just turn their personal account into a mechanic account and just ensure that they can use the services as well or be a mechanic. And with that, that is my showcase. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good night.